Hello and welcome to this exclusive gameplay presentation of EVERSPACE 2. I am your host and your guide, Eric Schrader, the community ambassador for Rockfish Games. So you've probably seen how flashy and crisp the combat is in EVERSPACE 2 by now. Heads up, this video isn't about all of that frenzied combat. It's more about cracking open the groundwork underneath the game, showing how your subtle choices can make a big impact to your stats and to your experience. I'm going to be talking a lot about the itemization. As a looter-shooter, we're dedicating a great deal of work to ensure loot and weaponry feel good to gain and use. Right now, I have a common level 9 pulse laser equipped. So let's talk about this. You can tell it's common because of the word right there plastered on the side, but also because the color is gray. The level is in the upper left in the diamond. The eye indicates this is a primary weapon and only fits in the primary weapon slot. Kinetic and energy damage we'll talk about a little bit later, but that is your really important pew pew daka daka, okay? Good, moving on. The range is how far your shot travels before it dissipates. The fire rate is how many shots are fired per second. Energy capacity is kind of like your ammo. Basically, as soon as this runs out, you're gonna have to wait until it recharges to fire the weapon again. That consumption is how much energy is used per second from the weapon being fired. The flak also has damage radius, which indicates how far away from the impact will still take full damage from the shot. And the railgun has a charge damage increase, which indicates how much additional damage the weapon will do at full charge. Okay, so back to this level 9 pulse laser. Because there's a variety of equipment means you'll need to stay on your toes and experiment with new options, instead of sticking with the same thing for too long. Power increases in levels, yes, but so do energy requirements. You can see the difference between our level 9 pulse laser and this level 10 that we have in red. Prefixes also change item stats. Marksman increases the range of your weapons for different tactical advantages, and efficient means you can use that item for longer periods of time. So let's take a quick look at tiers. Commons are gray, uncommons are green, rares are blue, superiors are red, and legendaries are orange. This is an example of a legendary. This is not a fully completed one, but each one of these respective tiers have more modifiers on the weapon to make them even more unique. Furthermore, there are manufacturers that make custom equipment as well. This scattergun is made by Baron Nova Gunnery Ltd., an armament company with a long tradition in building heavy artillery for spacecraft. These beloved and sometimes notorious manufacturers will change the way equipment is utilized, while synergizing with other equipment of the same brand. We'll have more to show regarding this in the future. So I've only shown weapon examples. Next up are the modules of your ship. The energy core is vital in supplying your weaponry and engines with energy. The shield makes sucking at this game hurt less. Plating also protects you, but must be repaired, unlike shields which regenerate. Sensors affect how soon you populate anything on your HUD. Thrusters primarily affect your movement speed, but also your engine's energy. Cargo units expand the number of slots for inventory space, as well as benefits to dismantling. All of the modules can be of different tiers, have prefixes, and various modifiers much like weapons. This also includes bonuses to ship attributes, like firepower, your be-all end-all damage modifier for all primary and secondary attacks, precision, which is all about critical chance and damage to maximum effect, structure, to literally make your ship more stable and harder to kill, along with the reduction of damage to your equipment, utility, for those of you who love maximizing your device usage, specifically from red warfare devices, repair, for capitalizing on healing consumables, primarily nanobots for rapid hull regeneration, and a hidden one because it's not yet implemented, called resistance, which focuses on hull damage reduction and the reduction of conditions, otherwise known as debuffs, that affect you. You also have two other stats, your speed, which is literally how quickly you move, and your handling, which is how quickly you turn and navigate, which is far more valuable for nimble players. Okay, so now I'm equipping modules with modifiers because they're superior to enhance my ship as a whole. Also, plating can only be equipped while docked, otherwise you could cycle out armors during combat, and that's way too much cheese. Thanks, let's not do that. Everything else plugs in, easy peasy lemon squeezy, and we have greatly enhanced stats. Our attributes are looking way better than they were before, along with our shield and hull. Armor didn't change for obvious reasons, and even our speed and handling got a little bit of a boost, which makes a strong impact in dogfight mobility. So let's take just a closer look at each one of these, specifically the colored attributes at the bottom. I'm a big fan of the EMP blast on the shield. Okay, so we've talked all about the weapons and the modules of the ship. Now let's cover the consumables and then get into the nitty-gritty of the ship details. Nanobots come in different sizes, which means they will restore different amounts of hit points. My personal favorite is the sticky turret, which you simply launch towards an asteroid and then it pops up and starts shooting for you. And injectors are all about insta-heal, though at a lesser amount. Okay, so on to ship characteristics. These are defined by your ship subclass. The special and the passives can vary from a pool of options within that class, but the ult is always the same. For instance, all found sentinels are bound to static overload, but again, the passive and special can vary wildly, making two of the exact same ships operate differently. We gain 15% bonus to shields, as well as 5% bonus to armor, to protect our meaty hull boosted from our modules. In addition, holy cow, we're still talking about ship characteristics because we like variety. Okay, slots vary based on the type of ship you're using as well, so Sentinel lacks primary and secondary slots, but makes up for that by having more consumable options. Last but not least, and also for consistency, we keep track of the device slots as well as the cargo slots on board your ship as well, but these will both be modified through other means. So what is a device anyway? These are temporary buffs and abilities to give you the edge in a given situation. For example, this EMP generator can disable all nearby foes temporarily. Modes can be unlocked and chosen by progressing through the game, which grant unique modifications to the device itself. There will be a healthy selection of devices to choose from, with what you see here as merely a small sample of, each with different modes to match your preferred tactics. Because there will be a lot of them, we're providing organizational tools to look through specific types, like green support devices versus red warfare devices. Devices themselves are found from various parts of the game world, so you'll need to stay on your toes, keep your eyes peeled, and be listening for any clues that could point you in the right direction to pick up these invaluable tools. Next up, perks. Your experience gains across the game provide you more than mere stat bumps. You'll gain valuable passives that enhance certain aspects of play, unlocking an option between 3 every 5 levels. Your choice isn't permanent, so you can go back and change these around. You may even change them up for a specific mission, or to more optimize your loadout. There's obviously still more coming, so we'll definitely revisit this in the future. Companions come with their own unique perks, but you have to invest in them before gaining. Take this repairs perk, for example, which we're tracking exclusively. The indicators down on the lower right show that credits have been satisfied, we have some iron to invest, we have all scrap right now, and we're missing a power cell. The cool bit about tracking perks means we can go back to our inventory screen and see which resources are needed, so we don't accidentally sell them at a local station or something in a trade menu. Okay, so let's go back to our perk screen and at least invest what we have. We're pretty happy we've defined the perk system between the player perks, which are gained through leveling up, and the companion perks, which you specifically have to invest in by seeking out particular items. We'll also have a healthy addition of companions you'll meet along your travels. Speaking of your travels, we're taking great care in providing valuable information on your map screen through all of these different solar systems to get a strong sense of what locations or regions will grant you what you're looking for. Whether it's a point of interest, a trade lane, or even a specific mission, missions are cataloged by colors and numbers. The numbers represent the challenge rating, whereas the color represents the type. Blue are side quests that you've gone out and discovered, whereas gold are the main quest line. Reputation boosting jobs would be listed here in green. Your reputation is tracked on this next and last screen, woo, which indicates each of your independent faction standings, as well as the rewards if you continue to build them. If you just want rewards and don't want to help anyone, you should seek out the various challenges in the game as well. Last screen, this is where you need to go in order to gloat to your friends and also see how much time you've actually accrued inside of the game. It's all of your stats you could ever hope and dream for. Guys, thank you so much for joining me for this wild ride in the back-end systems of EVERSPACE 2. I'm sure that we're going to continue developing and there's going to be another conversation about even more that we add to the game, but we'll let future Eric and future Rockfish talk about that. Anyway, I have been Eric Schrader, the community ambassador for Rockfish Games, and you have been awesome. Thank you so much for letting me talk your ear off, holy cow, but more importantly, don't stop being awesome. Toodles!